bowling is a dying sport.
A dying sport.
I disagree. I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
BowlerX.com for the love of bowling.
Cheers, folks. What's happening? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. You know, just had a nice little discussion over YouTube, which usually doesn't happen. I usually don't engage on stuff like that because of this reason. But just some stuff I'm going to assume is continuing to be a misunderstanding. Either I'm not understanding what the heck they're trying to say, or they really don't understand what I'm trying to say. So for everybody logging in, I'm going to wait a few minutes before I get into this, but thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Cheers, everybody. I think Bob was saying he hopes I have my, I hope I have my Truly up in, for the live stream, but I'm sticking with the old Bud Light tonight, not doing anything crazy. So cheers. Hope everybody's got yourself a drink. Unless you're underage or a recovering alcoholic, then don't. All right. For those of you who haven't joined yet, make sure you join the club, the membership here, because again this month I'm giving away 2 free bowling balls. Actually, I should have done it already, but we're going to do it here within the next couple of days. So if you're a member, like Tom A is here, if you look at his name, it's green and he's got a little member badge next to it. He will. I just randomly picked that one, but that's what this discussion is actually about. It's so weird. But he's got a badge by his name because he is eligible to win a bowling ball of choice. 2 bowling balls of choice are being given away again this month to anybody who is a member. So you have your chance. I'm going to be doing that here soon. For those of you who haven't joined yet, make sure you hit that join button. It's only $4.99 a month. So you get into every drawing every single month and you'll be good to go. But today's discussion is going to be about footwork and trying to get my kid to leave me alone for a minute while I chat with you guys. But that's probably not likely. I have this video up right here because I kind of want to use it as an example. So let me, as soon as I get my kid settled in here, as soon as he sees the camera up, he wants to be on camera. I don't really get it. He's like, put your tongue away. Put your tongue away. Close your mouth. So this video is not really to say that anybody's necessarily doing anything wrong. There's just specific things that are just not possible. John wants to ask a question here before we get going. We're gonna go ahead and answer that question before we start. Have you tried the clear or level up yet by CTD bowling? It replaces using the heat to get the oil. I haven't tried it yet. Ron sent me the clear. I just haven't used it yet. I'm going to try it. My shot, Jackson, stop. We're not going through this again. You're going to annoy people. I haven't tried the clear yet. I haven't had, my shop's only been open a couple of months now, so I haven't had the opportunity of getting anybody to walk in with anything really old yet. So not quite, I haven't been able to use it. I used just because somebody had a phase 3 that came in that they said it doesn't hook anymore. So I threw it in the reviver for a little bit, and you could see it took quite a bit of oil out of it. If anybody that follows me on Facebook, so it did take quite a bit of oil out of it. Okay, time to get on. I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna shut your show off. Don't lose that. So I've got this video up for a reason. The discussion earlier was that. Let me see if I can. Basically, throughout the regional a couple of weeks ago, I bowled. I barely made the cut. Struggled. Anybody who watched it, there was 8 games posted, and then I posted the first game of match play today. So for anybody that watched it, you saw the frustration in me. You saw how irritated I was getting, how confused I was. Jackson, quit. You saw how irritated I was getting, how frustrated I was getting, like I'm about to right now because I can't get the kid to go away. It's funny, like setting up, getting everything ready to go to do this. He was all good, watching his video. As soon as I start talking, the kid jumps over here and wants to be up on camera. So sorry about that, but I'm not at the shop. Otherwise he'd be running around in the bounce houses at the bowling center. Stop. Seriously. So now he's got me confused in where I was. The discussion was about my footwork because I was frustrated. Somebody was saying that I walk too far right, which I don't walk right at all. I walk left and then go right. I mean, it was really confusing. And then somebody tried to tell me that I should walk completely straight on whatever board that I start on or that I'm trying to hit, and I should, like, the comment. Let me read this to you. The comment itself was, Jackson, hold on. Let me get rid of this kid, and I'll be right back. We're going to pull this up here real quick. All right, well, hopefully that worked. Now he's going to cry, though, but that's all right. At least maybe he'll stay out there. But anyway, so the discussion was that because of my footwork, my swing was all out of whack and my balance was all out of whack and everything. And he tried to say that I was starting in a spot that I wasn't starting in, that I was left of 20 trying to lay the ball down at 8 or whatever it was. And it just isn't true. It's just factually not right. So we're going to pull this video up here. And I want to show you footwork, you know, what it should be, the definition of what a 4-step or a 5-step should be. I personally, now I use 5 steps. I actually used to use 4 steps, and it was an attempt to get my swing to be a little bit straighter, which did work. And then I went back to 5 steps because I could, and it gave me that extra timing and tempo step. So it was good. So we're going to go over here, and I want to show you, which one do I have it under here? I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. And I want to show you, as I pull this up, watch what happens with feet. Okay, so you can see here, if we're talking about left foot, and for some reason this guy was talking about his right foot, where his right foot was lined up. He tried to say that when he wants to play up 4, his exact words were this: I have seen all your videos. You are wrong. I stand about 4 or 5 board, walk straight down the 4 or 5 board, throw it on the 4 or 5 board, and as I said, I average 230 now. It isn't that hard. I used a 4-step approach. Stand with my right foot in back of my left and at a 45-degree angle. Then I step forward with the right foot and walk straight. None of that makes any sense because you cannot, your right foot, your first step, even if I were to take 4 steps here, my first step could not go to the right or too straight forward, because then as the ball comes down, it would hit my leg unless I swing the ball to the right. The whole object here is to have the swing be as straight in line with your target the entire way. So going forward, as you step, let me see if I can play this here. So my first step, left foot straight. See that? So I'm at about 23, 24, you know, whatever it may be, somewhere in there with my foot. Okay. This second step, this next step has to go in front of my first step. It's got to get out of the way. It has no choice but to get out of the way of the ball. Okay. So there, let me see if I can back that up just a pinch so you can, let me try that again, try to pause it at the right spot. So as that goes forward, that foot has to go in front of the last step, that first step, in order to even have a way for the ball to pass by my head or pass down by my hip. We'll get into what some other person said here in a minute. So you can see how much farther. So now that right foot is basically right around 24, 25, maybe even a little left of that, actually. So that step has to go to the left. There's no doubt about it. It has to, in order to allow that ball to swing down on the path that it needs to be, getting in line with the target. That third step now, which is my left foot here, has to go to the left again, because you have to come back around that right foot, and then you have to step basically straight. It doesn't really go left. It's just straight. It's straight forward from where you are at this point with where your body's in line. So now it's straight right there. So now you can see I'm a good 7, 8, 10 at the most boards left from where I started. Why does everybody always call me right when I start this stuff? And then my right foot goes back to the right. Okay, so now I'm starting to be back in line. And then my left foot slides towards my target back. You can see I'm directly right back to where I started, right at about 23, 24 at the most there at the foul line. So that's kind of the way it goes. Now let me pull up this picture if I can find it here. And I will show you. It's my favorite image for the footwork. Let's see if I can find it. I can never find anything on this computer because I've got so much junk on it. Probably should have had it pulled up already, but okay, you guys can bear with me here. Maybe I can just search for it. That's what I need to do. Work. There it is. All right. So now let me see if I can make sure I'm sharing that so you guys can see that. Hold on one second. Stop share. I want to share this. So this is my favorite image for this, because this is exactly how it goes. First step with this is simply a 4-step approach, but so we just take away the first step. First step doesn't matter because it's straight. So just imagine that this colored foot here, this colored foot to the left of the line is your first step as a 5-step approach. Now your right foot is this number 1 foot, which goes directly in front. And look exactly what I said. That second step goes to the left. It's not really left. It's actually just straight with your body, with where your body is. And then the final step, this one, for this image actually shows it straight. For me, I actually get it going back right a little bit, just because I over-exaggerate the slide back towards your target. And then you can see the final step is slide back towards your target where you started. So this is a really good visual for how the footwork goes. For some reason, these people think that you should walk 1 foot in front of the other all the way down, and it's just not possible. It's just not possible to do that. And it's really frustrating for people to put that information out there thinking that that's the way to do it. I mean, somebody literally said they start on 4, they walk up 4, they stop, they go to on 4, and they throw it on 4, and it's just not a thing you can do. It's just not possible. So I'm gonna go back and let's actually look at some video. I kind of want to look at. Let's go to YouTube and let's look at some video and see if we can watch some bowlers actually watch some bowlers with their footwork. Let's try Tommy Jones. See what he does with his feet. Let's see if we can see him in this video.
Winning. it comes to business,
After we get through the
everyone's got
ads.
their own way.
Darn YouTube and their
From
ads, I
this
tell you
to
what.
her.
Nah, we can't see his feet. See if there's one where we can see his feet. Yeah, maybe this one. This one we can probably see his feet. All right. There we go. Ready? See? And he's actually a little bit different. He actually does get it going fairly straight, but now you see him swing it to the right of his leg. So he gets it going a little left, but not nearly as much. So that's a little to the left. I'd say it probably needs to be a little further because now you see the ball track actually starts going back to the right. But I'm not going to argue with Tommy. Tommy's freaking good. Nobody's going to argue with Tommy. He's going to do what he's going to do. But as a new bowler, you're going to teach that to be a little bit further left. And now he's going left again, right, and then sliding back towards his target. He's not an extreme example. So now let's go look at Barnes, because Barnes was the other one that was used as an example. Chris Barnes. Bowling. Chris Barnes bowling. And then we'll watch some cool videos later, maybe. I don't know. The hard part is finding ones that actually show their feet all the way through and from behind. It's difficult. But I don't want to see his release. I don't want to see that. Maybe this will show it at some point. No, that's never going to show it. Let's try footwork. We're here. He's teaching a 4-step and 5-step approach here. Right there, you can see it immediately how his right foot goes in front of his left foot. And it's pretty dramatic. And then that next step goes to the left. Even that went to the right or back to the left again. And then he goes back towards his target. That is textbook. That's exactly what you're taught. Now, I'm not going to listen to him teach it because we just saw it right there, but that gets the point. So, I mean, that pretty much shows you exactly what we're talking about. Like, that's just, it's not uncommon for that to happen. What actually happens the most is people actually, once they get their feet going to the left, they continue going to the left, because that's why you see people, they're way more comfortable playing further in than they are playing out. So it's kind of, Barnes from 2005 is not the same as today. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I'd say it's probably different. Can't see what video. What video couldn't you see? Which one was it? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Just saying. All right. Just going through comments here real quick, guys. That's all. So anyway, but that's basically what we kind of wanted to touch on. And I'm gonna make a full video based on footwork tomorrow when I get into the shop, because it's frustrating that some people still don't quite understand that you have to get out of the way of the ball. You can't walk straight without swinging the ball off of the path. So, you know, I'll show both examples of what could happen if you try to walk straight, and then what's going to happen when you walk to the right, and what's going to happen when you walk to the left. So we're going to go through all of that. I'm going to try to do it without calling anybody out. What, buddy? Okay, and as soon as I'm done here, I'm only going to be a minute. Well, it's a good thing you're not the boss. So anyway, so that's footwork. What do you got? How many people walk left? Like actually full out walk left? I know a lot of bowlers that I've coached, their problem is they end up walking right because of old school techniques where they were taught to walk to the corner and then they go up the lane. I mean, so hold on a second. Is there a common way to describe where a person starts with footwork, such as lining up with the outside right foot on board X? Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. That's what this person was saying. Is they start with their right foot. They line up with their right foot, and I don't understand how. I've never until today heard of anybody lining up with their right foot, because your right foot's not even in the equation for how you walk. Like, you're not actually, like, you can't then determine where you finish based off of where your right foot is, because your right foot is technically your trail leg. Your trail leg ends up way off to the left lane. So how can you figure out where you finished if you're not trying to pay attention to where your left foot is? So for me, always line up with the center of my toe of my left foot. And then I just, adjust based on that. So where I finish is actually with my heel, because of how angled my foot is at the foul line once I get through the actual shot. So that's how I do it. But footwork's different for everybody. One thing I do know, though, is without having a crazy swing, you can't walk straight. If you walk straight, like straight as in one foot in front of the other, or one foot next to each other, walking like you normally would walk, it's just not possible. The ball has nowhere to swing other than outside your body in and then outside again. It just wouldn't make sense. Your consistency goes through the floor. Unless you absolutely perfect it, like somebody like Brandon Novak, who does that wicked, weird swing that he has. But how many people want to spend that much time trying to perfect an imperfection of a swing? It's really difficult. So we kind of want to just pay attention to, let's just make sure we leave a slot there for the ball to fall into. And this other person was talking about where I start the ball makes it to where I can't walk straight, which makes no sense at all, because the ball is started right off to the side, parallel, right up under my right ear, and pushed down in front of me exactly where it's supposed to be. He was saying something about centered with his shoulder, or somewhere in here on his chest or something. I don't know. I couldn't understand him, and that's why I'm just going to assume it's all a misunderstanding, and I just don't understand what they're trying to say. They're probably possibly trying to say the same thing as what I'm saying, but when the reason this even sparked is when they're trying to tell me that I'm doing something that it's not happening. Like, I'm okay with criticism. You want to try to give me advice and stuff on things, that's great, if the advice makes sense. If the advice doesn't make any sense, and I can show you how you're wrong in your advice, don't then attack me and come at me like I'm the bad person here, just because I'm telling you, no, that's not how this works. Look, this is exactly what's happening. That blows my mind that people get so offended and mad and just start attacking me because, I don't agree with their criticism. You can criticize me all you want. Like, so many people criticize me on my balance, and they're right. They're absolutely right. And I've been working on it. I've continued to work on it. It's gotten better, and it's going to continue to get better. So people that keep nagging on me on my balance, go for it, because they're right. I've never once said, no, you're wrong. My balance is not bad. My balance isn't bad as far as generally the ball's 15 feet down the lane or more before I actually step off. Most times I'm stepping off. I'm not really falling off. Still a problem. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. But when you tell me that I'm starting in a spot that I'm not even close to starting, and that I'm walking however many left of where you think I am, and I can visually see in video that that's not the case, that's not even true, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. I'm just going to call you out. Simple as that. So, sorry, I just don't pussyfoot around. I don't baby step this. I'm straight to the point on everything, just like all my videos. Straight to the point. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. So, anyway, for those of you in the Waterford area, we have a class starting Monday and Wednesday. Monday's almost full. Wednesday's just got a few people in it. I think we're up to like 4 or 5 on Wednesday. Monday's almost full. So Wednesday's wide open if you want to come and join us. It's $350. You get a ball of choice, and you get 6 weeks of training. We talk about a different subject. This is going to be one of the subjects that we talk about throughout the 6 weeks. And you get to use Strike Seeker. You get to use all that stuff. So make sure, if you want to get in, let me know before next week, and we will get you in there. I think I've only got a couple of spots left on Monday, like I said. So if you want on Monday, that's when you're going to have to hurry up and get in there before it fills up. But also, we're giving away 2 bowling balls of choice this month again. So if you're a member, which you can see if you look at the comments, If you're on YouTube and you look at the comments, you can see the people who have green names with a little badge next to their name. That is that's their membership. They are a member of the channel, and they are eligible to win those bowling balls. I'll do a drawing here in a couple days to win those bowling balls. So, Brandon, the classes are Monday at 6:30 at start time, 6:30 to about 8:30, and then Wednesday is 7 to 9. So you get your choice, Monday or Wednesday. How do you increase ball speed using your feet, and can you do examples? I definitely can do examples. That's another video. I did do a video on that, so you might want to go look it up. But you can go see that. There's a video on it. There's all kinds of videos. A lot of different channels have made videos on this, but it is just footwork. It's just speed of your feet. You just got to speed your feet up and allow your swing to catch up with your feet, to basically just swing free along with the speed of your feet. So Eric says coach always tells them never to drift. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I'm okay with people walking a little bit to the left. I don't think I'm okay with people walking to the right, because now you're forcing yourself into only playing straighter angles to the right, and it makes it very difficult to play further inside and loop the ball. So when the shot calls for you moving left and throwing it to the right, you're going to have a difficult time if you walk to the right. So it's not to say you can't do it. It just makes it a little bit more difficult, a lot harder to repeat. So I would say he's on the right track as far as try not to drift. I mean, it's always good to walk as straight as you can as far as, finishing where you start. Now, you can never actually walk straight, because just like the reason I said, you have to go a little bit to the left to allow the ball to come by. And then you can, get yourself to go back to the right just a little bit. So unless you're like double jointed and you got some weird hip or something, or you're leaning over, I don't know. If you're doing something strange, you can probably make it happen. But that's not what we teach. We're going to teach what the natural, normal body does. And we're going to teach you to try to get the ball into the slot in line, and your feet to go left and back right, and then slide towards your target. That's how it's always been taught or at least that's how it's taught now, because when the technology changed, the old technology was walk to the corner and throw it up the lane, because nobody really curved it that much, or hooked it that much. Sorry, I know some people don't like the word curve, but that's just how it's always been. Here's an old school guy right here. Food for thought. I'm an old school guy and realize that I do start left but end up walking right. I'll have to work on that. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's just it is an old school technique. That's the way it's always been. Because of the technology, didn't curve that much, didn't hook that much. It didn't allow you to, you had to play those straight angles up the lane. And so that was just the biggest technique. If you could do that consistently, you were one of the better bowlers in the world. Now it's just not like that. Now you actually have to start getting a little bit further to the left. People confuse shoulder square to the target to shoulder square to the lane. Correct. Yes, your shoulder should never be square to the lane unless you're playing directly up the lane. That's exactly right. You want to, I always teach chest. Center of chest is the biggest thing. Wherever the center of your chest is facing, that's where the ball's going to go. Wherever the center of your chest is facing, generally that means your shoulders are in line with where your chest is going. So make sure you focus on your chest. That's another one of the biggest things. So what is this? Coach, tell me how to throw it up four correctly. Well, you got to slide anywhere from 6 to 8 boards left of 4 in order to even have a chance of getting it to go up 4. If you don't, you're in trouble. Now, I should say, you probably could slide at 4 with your left foot and hit 4. But your swing, let me see if I can show you this. I think this is how it would have to be. So, let me get this. Your swing, I think, you would have to come in this way, in front of your leg, and then throw it up in front of you. I think that's honestly the only way you could do it, which is kind of like a Buttriff. Buttriff kind of looks like he does that a little bit. But definitely not advisable to be doing that. Nobody's going to coach that. At least I hope not. That would be awful coaching. Some people just learn to do these things on their own. But as far as somebody trying to tell you that you should stand on 4 to hit 4, don't listen to them. Try not to anyway. Anyway, that's that. So rule of 7, go watch the video for rule of 7. It can be different. It could be 6. I'll even say it could be 5. I'll give you that. Some people are really, really tiny, really narrow shoulders, stuff like that. I'll give you 5. Anything less than that, I'm going to have a hard time believing you can do that. Somebody said they said it's a 3 board for them. So you're standing on 7 trying to hit 4. I don't know that I believe that, because a ball is almost 9 inches around. So half of that, I can't, because your hand is in the middle of it. Half of that would be at least 4 inches. So that's, 3 boards in itself, 4 boards in itself. I couldn't believe that. There's no way I would believe that. So, I've never seen 4 at the arrows. What are we looking for? If I send you a video of me bowling, could you analyze it? Yeah, actually, that happens through, if you go to bowlerx.com, it's not a free service, but we do offer video lessons. So if you want to go over to bowlerx.com, you can sign up over there and get that, and you can request me as your coach, or you can talk to Krista-san. Krista is one of the coaches over there as well, and she'll do the video analysis for you too. Recently moved from looking at the arrows to the dots, playing up 10, but keep leaving 4 pins. Do I need to move my feet and target left, or just feet? So you're from the arrows to the dots, playing up 10. Well, generally when you go from looking at the arrows to the dots, it opens your angle up a little bit. So I would just be moving your target a little bit to the left. If you're trying to play a specific part of the lane and you want to keep the ball in the oil a little bit more, I would just, start moving your target a little bit to the left to keep the ball into the oil a bit. Do on the rule of 31. See, I'm not a huge fan of the rule of 31, just because, it's a good reference point. It's a good starting point to try to understand where you probably could start on the lanes, or at least try to get an understanding of what the lanes are giving you. But I wouldn't take it like to heart, So if you're on a 40-foot pattern and you subtract 31, that doesn't. I've bowled many 40-foot patterns that I've got to get the ball right of 9. Like I know it says breakpoint's supposed to be 9, but a lot of times your breakpoint's going to be right of that. And I think a lot of it has come into play because of how much stronger the equipment's gotten. I think the rule of 31 probably has transformed to like the rule of 35 or so. I don't know if I'm just throwing a spitball in here, but I would think it's changed quite a bit because of the strength of the bowling balls. Now people are getting their breakpoint further to the right, the amount of friction that's on the lanes now, how old the panels are getting, the lanes that you're on, the old wood lanes are getting older. Even the synthetic lanes from 20 years ago now are, they're beat up. They're super high friction lanes. So I would be very cautious using the rule of 31. You can probably make that as a starting point and then adjust it as you're practicing for warm-ups and all that, but I wouldn't be looking too far into it. So chances of me doing a video on the rule of 31, probably slim. I may do a video based on, how to get lined up a little bit quicker. I can probably try to do that, but I don't know that I will do the rule of 31. Oh, yeah. Best tip for a beginner. Get lessons, honestly. Just because as a beginner and you're practicing and you're trying to get better, without having somebody visually there telling you yes or no on whether you're doing things right, you're more than likely probably practicing bad habits. And then you're watching YouTube and seeing comments from people that are telling you to stand on 4 to hit 4. So I'm probably never going to let that go. But I would say just, if you can't afford lessons, then, at least watch the good channels that, teach. At least watch good YouTube channels that teach. Don't pay too much attention to the comments, and that's not a jab at anybody in here, but just don't pay too much attention to the comments, because sometimes you'll get comments like I just talked about, and it may confuse you. So don't get too confused. I would just practice those techniques. Some of the key techniques you're going to want to practice is learning the release, your footwork, make sure you're learning the swing, all those things. As a beginner, make sure you understand whether you're using a 4-step or a 5-step, and then, make sure your slide step is going towards your target. So there's a lot of basic technique that you need to know, and that's why probably getting lessons is the one thing I can really say. A lot of people trying to blow smoke up my booty. Yeah, it happens. Whatever. It's fun. I mean, this has kept me busy today, honestly, because it's my day off. And I'm trying to, today I told myself, I'm going to take a day off. I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to post videos. I'm not going to do all that. And here I am, doing video and talking to people and all that. I can't help it. I guess it's better than talking about minimum wage problems and problems within the government and politics and all that. So bowling's a little bit more fun to talk about. I know a little more about bowling than I do politics. I don't claim to know much about politics. So, how does it feel like being a dad? It must be a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's not a ton. I mean, it's great. I wouldn't give it up for the world. I think it's, the one thing that I've always wanted to be and always wanted to do, and I'm glad that I am now. And I wouldn't give it up for anything, minus the fact that he likes to get in here and get on my dang nerves when I'm trying to get my videos going. He always wants to be on screen. Nah, I mean, he's good. He's a good kid. He listens for the most part. He loves the camera, wants to be in front of the camera. So, yes, if you got an opportunity to be a dad and doing it the right way, go ahead and do it. Lessons were the best investment I made. Improved my average 26 pins from last season. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Lessons are a big step in the right direction. Bowling 101, miss right, move right, miss left, move left, puts a damper on the rule of 31. Yeah, that and that rule actually, if you're bowling on something tougher, doesn't necessarily apply either. Not always. A lot of times, what people don't understand is when you're on a longer pattern and you're bowling on something flatter, if your ball is missing, if you're missing the head pin to the right, or if you're two pinning something like that as a right-hander, generally the move is to move left, to move closer to the pocket, not further away. But that's another discussion for another day. Hollywood Jackson, that's right. Hollywood Jackson is there. He's actually laying out there. Hopefully, I just said his name. Hopefully, he doesn't come flying out here. Did you call me, Dad? Can I get on camera now? Can I get out here? No, you can't. Ken Rule, my release is my nemesis. It's an easy fix sometimes. Only doing lessons during the week? No, I do them during the weekends too when I am around. This weekend I'm not. I'm bowling a tournament Saturday. Next weekend also I'm gone for a regional. But the following weekend after that, I will be around more than likely because I think that regional got canceled. It was supposed to be going on in Lorain, Ohio, but they canceled that. So I don't think I have anything going on that week. So possibly can get in then. This guy. This is funny. Yes, stick to bowling. We get much better tips that way. You cracked me up. You're a funny man. You're a funny man. What I do like, hold on one. What I do like are the people. I remember when I was talking about the whole COVID thing a year ago. Oh, I just said the word. Oh, no, I'm going to get banned. I was talking about the whole thingy a year ago. And we were going through the data and everything that was going on. And I was reading, literally quoting the experts, the people who are in charge of this whole thing. I was quoting them. And somebody was telling me that just because you can, you read from the experts, that doesn't make you an expert. It came up in my memories from the other day. Like, well, no, of course not. I don't claim to be an expert, but I can share information from experts. Like I don't have to be a genius to do that. Like that makes no sense. There's that discussion again. What's up with the pros using urethane like none other now on tour, even on the long patterns? It seems like they're getting to ball to hook super crazy for what the ball is. Yeah, I mean it's just one of those topics, it's up for debate. Some people think it's a crutch, that people are only using it because they can't flatten their hand out or it's the easy way out or whatever it may be. The fact of the matter is urethane's giving everybody the best look right now. I mean, it reads the middle of the lane and it gives you misroom in. We're always looking for misroom in because guys can create hook to the right. With any bowling ball, they can create hook to the right. It's the misroom in that it's hard to create. So if you can put a ball in your hand that can give you that hook to the right because it's early enough, which urethane is earlier than any ball on the market, unless you do something crazy to it, and then you can, create a little mystery in on those flat patterns, that's the way to go. And most times guys kind of find a canal or something that they can use on the lane and they just stick with it, and they stay there all day. So is it right or wrong? I'm not going to say it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I use urethane whenever I have an opportunity to, because when it lets me play that angle, I mean, I tried to use it pretty much the entire time this last weekend, mostly because that's what everybody else was using, and trying to use reactive really over exaggerates the puddles down lane to where it looks like your ball just gets kicked to the right. And like, what happened? How'd my ball just back up right there? So it's difficult to navigate that with reactive going from pair to pair. But with urethane, you know what you're going to get for the most part. I didn't know what I was getting last week, but that's your best opportunity to at least have a recognizable reaction, So that's all I got to say about that. Oh, that video you made on how to line up properly, can that work for spare shooting? In a way, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the rule of 7 technically is it's more for the first, but I mean, the shooting spares is basically just straight lines. I mean, you just need to find wherever you need to stand on the left part of the lane to shoot 10 pins, 9 pins, and 6 pins, and even 3 pins and 3 6 9s or 3 6 9 10s. Figure out where you need to stand, and then you're just moving your eyes on the lane to adjust to what you need to shoot at. It's really as simple as that. Ken, we'll link up. Where is your schedule? In my head, honestly, or in my calendar. I'll have to look. So shoot me an email. Email bowlerxtrainingscenter@gmail.com, and we'll try to get you in whenever you've got time. How easy is it for you to get a senior's backswing to shoulder height? It really depends on the rest of the game, Sam. It depends on what you've got going on and your footwork leading up to, that part of your swing. So it depends. Do you have shoulder issues? Do you have any injuries or anything like that? It can be difficult because I think of like golf. Like my golf swing is real short and abbreviated as well. And I watch these guys who have a golf swing and they, whip it up around their head and come back down. And when I do that, I feel all out of control. I have no chance of even, I'll whiff the ball. I won't even hit the ball. Like, it's crazy. But, so maybe it's the same way for bowlers. When bowlers try to get their shoulder to go way up there, they feel like they have no control and they just kind of bail on it. So I guess it's just difficult. And why would you want to have your, backswing as high as it is? Is your ball speed low? Do you think it hinders you in a way? If it doesn't hinder you, then I wouldn't bother with it. But if you think it hurts your game, not having it as high as you'd like it, then definitely need to take a look. What was this? JR, are you a power player, a tweaker player? No, I don't smoke weed, so I'm not a tweaker player. But no, technically nowadays, I don't think I'm classified a power player anymore. My rev rate's only 465. I don't know. I guess that's still technically in the lower end of the power player realm. But when you look at, some of the guys that are up at the top power-wise, the EJ Tackett, Jespers Svensson, Buttroff and Belmo and the two-handers, like they just they put the whole 460 to shame, that 500 number, I think, is more considered the power guys now. And then, I guess you would call what would you even call it? Like just a step down from power would be like the, a light power player or something. I don't even know what you would call it, but I wouldn't be considering myself a power player by any means. No. I like to consider myself a shot maker. I've kind of always been that guy. I've always been more forward with my hand, trying to keep it in front of me, keep my angles tight, and get myself in play more often, keep the ball into the pocket, which I didn't do last weekend, which was a problem. So I'm going to have to look into this again, start practicing straighter angles again. I think what's happened, and I think why I struggled so much with ball reaction is you're kind of a product of your environment, to be honest. Where you practice can be a big hindrance or a help to changing your game to how you want it. Waterford Lanes is a super high friction place, and I've been practicing there an awful lot over the last month. My ball reaction was turd-like to begin because it was just so early. Anybody that's followed me for any time know I've always had a problem with my ball starting up too quick, feeling like it hooks early, and then I have nothing left in the back part of the lane to get through the pins. So I've always worked on tilt and trying to get my hand around it more and all that good jazz. But bowling in this place, I think it naturally makes you do it because there's so much early friction. Your hand naturally gets around it more and more. Doing the reviews there, I'm trying to make the balls look better. I'm trying to get the balls to get to the pocket better. So I'm manipulating my hand a little bit more. So then when I go and bowl, like at the regional, on a pattern that have crisper back ends, you know, I'm getting into urethane and watching my ball get kicked left, you know, and I bowled on a longer pattern before the regional. And I had somebody, I bowled on this longer pattern, and every ball I used, I couldn't get to slow down. I couldn't get it to stop. Like it got to the back of the pattern. It took a left turn and would not slow down. So I never had that problem before. So I think now that's where I need to really start to, you know, pay attention to what I'm practicing, what I'm doing, and get myself back to being able to play straighter angles or being able to be more comfortable rolling the ball more forward and not automatically trying to get my hand around it. I think I'll have a little bit more success. So I got a full season of regionals. I mean, I bowled bad at my first regional of the year and still made the cut, still made match play, and still moved up in match play after the cut. So I can't really be too upset about it. Obviously not to my expectations, or if you ask this guy, whatever his name was, I'm awful anyway, you know, because I haven't made a ton of money on tour bowling only 20% of the events over the last 10 years. So I don't know. I get a kick out of it. But anyway, question about spare shooting. What if I went like 20 at the arrows and 4 down lane trying to make a 7-pin? Can that work? I'm a lefty. I mean, yeah, technically it would. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, I guess your break point has to be, I don't know. You'll have to test it out. I'll have to go and check it out. I'm sure it would. I don't think I've ever tried to use the rule of 7, you know, with shooting spares or anything. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but it may not. You never know. You have to try it out. Go check it out. Yes, you can. Yeah, and Shannon hit it here. You can get it with white tape. If you kind of pay attention to where your track is and try to get to the exact opposite side, put a piece of tape in that center spot and see if you can get it to be steady in the front part of the lane. You know, in the very first 5 feet of the lane, you want to get it to be steady. What do you do with bowling balls after tournaments? Let's say I watch Brad and Kyle and they still up 10 balls each in tournament after drill up 10 balls each after a tournament. A couple tournaments, they'd be carrying 100+ round balls. Yeah, a lot of them probably give them away or they sit in the garage. Ones that they actually liked, I'm sure they kind of have specialty layouts or whatnot. You know, some of the stuff that I've drilled over the years, I've had put away for like situational spots, certain patterns and stuff like that, that I would kind of put in the bag when I need it. But most of it, you probably either give it away or, you know, something. What's the advantage of using angles for ball drilling? Besides the standard inches, I've seen you love angles. So I just feel like the dual angle system is easier to narrow it down and be a little bit more repeatable. I mean, in the Storm vector system is pretty repeatable too. I mean, so I don't think there's an advantage to either one of them. It's just what you prefer. You know, for me, I like thinking of the numbers. I like thinking of the degrees and the angles itself. So that's just how I prefer it. I'm not saying it's the right way. That's just how I've taught it. It's how I've done it, and it's been easy to repeat. So, yeah, I guess it depends on the person. I don't generally carry a ton of them around because I have a higher rev rate than some. So they kind of get a little stoppy on me. They get to that real quick, jerk down lane, and then they do nothing going through the pins for the most part. So it really depends on. Oh, excuse me. It really depends on the situation. Most times I'm using symmetrical, lower differential type stuff for me. It's a way I can keep my balance, because every time I release the ball, I always do a hop and I'm sliding towards my target. You know, there's always a way to keep your balance. We'd have to be able to look and see what's causing your balance to be off, what's causing your balance to be bad, you know. But yeah, there's definitely a way to keep your balance or to make your balance a little bit better. That's for sure. But anyway, hey, everybody, I need you to, if you're not already, so like Ken Rule, I'm gonna need you to hit that join button so that way you have your chance to win bowling balls and stuff. Actually, Ken, you're on Facebook, so come over to YouTube and hit that join button. And so then you have a chance to be in the drawing for bowling balls every single month. I do 2 a month right now because we have over 200 members. I think we're getting closer to 300 members. Once we get to 300, we'll give away 3 bowling balls. So 2 bowling balls again this month, and then we will do a drawing every single month. But you have to be a member. The link is at the bottom here. You can see it scrolling down at the bottom. Copy and paste that link, and you should be able to join and get yourself in the drawing each month. Jim Williams, Shannon Dingus. I'm seeing you guys, seeing Joshy, the bowler lefty. So you guys don't have your member badge up there, so make sure to get over there and join. I'm gonna get out of here though. I gotta go respond to some more comments because these guys have been commenting on that video. I'm surprised I didn't jump on here and try to tell me I'm wrong still, but whatever. So I'm out of here. We will see you guys. I think I'm gonna have a video coming out tomorrow for the for footwork and all that. So pay attention to that, and we will see you guys next time.